Good morning, welcome back to the house. It's been another busy week looking after this old girl, so I thought it might be nice to give you a walk around and show you what we've been up to, or mark you what the builders have been up to. So let's go. So I'm hoping that this looks a little bit tidier than the last time we toured around. This wall's been plasterboarded now, ready for the plastering to start. The builders decided that it was too hot to be doing the plastering this week, although the absolute troopers that they are, they've been working all week. We've been wallpaper stripping. She who must not be filmed has referenced the fact that there's like a paper layer, then a paint layer, then a plastic layer, then a paint layer, then a plastic layer, then a paint layer. And some of them come off and some of them very much don't come off. And again, up there all clean now. It's ready for the final skim. But it's so exciting seeing the space that used to be the old ensuite sort of slowly become less and less visible and start to become a room again. It's just so nice. I'll show you a ChatGPT generated image of what we want the entranceway and the hallway to look like in the end, and how the tiles are going to work and how we hope it's all going to look. We've had a carpet guy around today, so we do plan to reinstate the stair runner style up and down the stairs, and you'll see that in the picture. The floor is going to start next week, so the work on the underfloor heating. So all of this has had the final bits of, you can see the final bits of leveling have gone on into the floor layers, and they put some sort of a surface skim down now. We've been doing some work just trying to get ahead of the final decoration and removing all of the old coving around the top. She who must not be filmed has given me a job to do. I think this might be the last of the 10,000 kilometers of phone cable that were stretched around the house that we've been pulling out. It was just everywhere, like years and years of, we need a phone line here, we need an internet connection here, has just led to it going everywhere. So I'm just gonna keep tracing it back, but I think we might nearly be at the end of it all now. Plastery coving, which exists only here. So it's definitely not worth a big underestimation, but yeah, doing a bit of that. My office is, again, just more evidence of leveling. This is the only room in the house we still get a slight smell of damp, and it's coming from this wall. So we do need to do something about this. But the sequence of the way everything needs to happen means that we need to get the underfloor in next, so that the next deck can go on. So underfloor, tiling, and then we can continue on the rest of the finishing work. But all of this old wallpaper has just got to come off. Wallpaper everywhere. This was patterned. The layers and layers of wallpaper we've taken off the house really do tell a bit of a story over the years. I got in trouble last week because I didn't mention how exciting it is about the fireplaces. So it is pretty cool. These old fireplaces, we couldn't go anywhere near this before because I had asbestos in it, but now we can go in, and we've discovered an original fireplace surround lurking in there somewhere. I got a couple of stills of it. So we're gonna take this out and we're gonna restore the fireplace so we can have ye olde fireplace in here. And this room's been almost stripped of wallpaper now. Yeah, so kind of, we're at a really exciting place. Everything feels like we're just a big push now away from actually it becoming habitable again, which after all of this time is going to be amazing. What else has been going on? So yeah, still got some fairly funky and exciting floorboard action going on. This room, our bedroom, is getting really close now. This is kind of the most devastated bit, but I'm assured that the plan is to push ahead when the underfloor is being done. And that will reinstating the lintel. Just lots of little bits really. So taking out the old tile work around where the sink used to be. We've got a plan now for how to make this, decorate this and work around it. Oh, old shutters are closing, opening and closing on themselves. It's been an incredibly busy week. Everybody has worked incredibly hard in the house, and I'm so grateful to our builders for working through the immense heat. Oh, and here, again, sealed for now, but there is a working chimney behind there. So the plan is to eventually open this up and put in I think a wood burning stove into this part. Eventually, that's not in the first phase of the work. This is the old water tank from the top of the house. Gross, but removed and ready for us to push on. I think here we're going to have, this is going to remain, but we'll have banister sort of extend like that to finish that off. Kind of like in the picture. The thing that's pretty invisible, and it's one of those things that I think you'll never notice it coming into the house, but everything's now on exactly the same level across the whole of the ground floor. So previously, as I said before, you'd step up into this room, the utility room, and then you'd step over a threshold here and then down to the back. So it's all been sloped and ramped and filled, ready for the underfloor. The only bit where there's still a step here is up into the kitchen. And that's unavoidable because this door threshold here, you can see how it's quite low. So in order to get a full height door, we have to keep this level going down to the exit there. But otherwise it's all level. So one step here, which means our trusty robot Hoover will be able to do the whole of the ground floor. This is really cool. I don't know how much of this we can see today. This is where the old boiler was, and now the asbestos has gone. You can see up into the old chimney, which is kind of gross, but also kind of cool. There's a little archway here. I don't know what that is. Something like a rail or for hanging someone to cook. Still got the old pipe there where the ducting was for the old boiler, but yeah, it's cool. We didn't go in here last time. This was the asbestos room. Still, the guys who did the asbestos removal said that it was safe, but they also acknowledged that like the floor is, you wouldn't want to brush it. So is it safe? This room was, we think, built in 67. I think 1967. The old floor we think is original. But original to what? To when, I guess, is the question. Don't know what we're going to do with this room yet, but I still think I want to strip back all of this and just have a stripped back place to start again. Does that work? Ooh. It does work. There you go. That's some light. That's the first time I've ever turned that light on. So yeah, it's wild. It smells a bit damp in here. Any ideas? What should we make this room into? I think B store. She who should not be filmed thinks sauna. Please vote in the comments. Honey processing room. Got to be done. A little bit of building drama. The plumbers originally thought this was where the vent for the radiator should go, for the new boiler should go. We strongly disagreed. That's nice. Now it's been removed, so now we need to fill this back up with another different type of vent. All fixable. So the vent now goes boop, out the top of there. And the new boiler is looking ready to kick some serious butt. So to come into here is still going to be the underfloor heating manifold, which we hope we can get it all into this room. So that means that all of the heating controls everything from, you know, replacing the hot water tank, the immersion, the boiler, the cold water tank, the pressure feed, all of that, everything replaced by just the contents of this room, which will be nice and neat and easy to maintain. Final thing I wanted to show you today was some work we did down at the end of the garden, and I'll walk you down there now because we've been busy building walls and doing some waterworks. So we'll march down there now and I'll give you an update on what we've been doing down by the bridge to the island. There's a shame before there's this old sluice gate with a bridge that goes across it. We're going to remove this and replace it today. It's not actually in awful condition, but it doesn't work for Marvin, and that's the thing we want to fix today. So the idea is to remove this old bridge structure and rebuild the bank on that side, which is kind of eroded and just made of cheese, and secure it on some fresh mortar, do a bit of the stone walling to clear it up and rebuild it. I'll show you a slightly different angle. And into the river. Okay, so this is the structure of it. It drops down here. This is the old sluice, where the old sluice gate was, and then this is literally just sat on top of the old wall. So goodness knows how old all of this is. You can see the structure underneath, but there's really not very much to it. Want it to be attractive in the garden, but also want the bridge to be functional. And the key thing we want to build today is that Marvin can drive onto here at a nice level, come across the bridge and come off of it at a nice level. So we're gonna have a bit of a poke around and see what's solid, see what's not, and then rebuild. Right, Ben?
Yep.
Okay, so we've kind of explored back and discovered that whoever, like 80s era plastic bits in there, so not ancient, didn't do it with a great deal of love. There was washing up bottles and glass and barbed wire and all sorts of horrors in there. So we've kind of cleared all of that out. And the next step is going to be to place some sort of underpinning massive stones that we've pulled out of the house. That will be our foundation for all of this lot. I'm not too concerned about the water flow because the water flow comes through and that way. It doesn't tend to churn much here. So I don't think they're going to move. The sort of thing we're finding, like ancient buried sheet metal that's just rotted to nothing. There's bits of wire. Time to put some rocks in. Oh, and while we're at it, just one of the benefits of, and there are downsides to being what they call a riparian owner, but one of the benefits is we're allowed to withdraw 25,000 litres of water a day from the river. And so we are withdrawing when we do this like twice a year. But what we're doing is we're pumping water out there and we're going our wildlife pond, which was in all this heat has basically emptied itself. So we're refilling it from the river. There we go. And this pond's really important to those guys over there because as you can, well, I don't know if you can see, but every single day of the heat wave, there's bees all over the pond getting water. It's coming along. I want to do a bit of rework on this side over here. I'm not happy having it sort of sat on soil. That's not going to last, but otherwise we're quite well planted and great big slabs starting from the bottom and going up. It needs a bit of repointing at the end, but yeah, looking all right. The gone in and out of this river too many times today. I'm exhausted. But I'm really pleased with the way it's come out so far. It's going to need to come up to, so we're aiming for this course of bricks and then one more, and then kind of flat across there. So we're going to need some soil to backfill it, but we've been filling it up as we go. Waving the mic around gives you an example of how tired I am. But yeah, there you go. So it sits against that side like that with this old, I think She Who Should Not Be Filmed found a weird name for this earlier. What did you say it was called? She can't remember. I think a water trough or some sort of irrigation system. I have no idea. And then more of this. We remove so much of this from the banks, like rotten, rusted, nasty metal, that we'll get to that sooner or later. But I think with the success of this, then we might sort of follow on and do more of that along the bank over time. But that's a huge amount of mortar and rock used in one day. So yeah, conscious of how much material is needed to do something like this. But yeah, Marvin's approach looks good. Ben's worked like a trooper all day today and was very sensible about everything, apart from when he started dumping water over me at the end of the day, which was very juvenile of him. But as much as I think it looks cool from that way, I think the bit that really surprised all of us was when we came up to the kind of the bridge crossing and looked that way. I have to say I'm quite proud of that. So yeah, more probably tomorrow. Going to let it all sit for a few hours and hope it doesn't just wash down the river overnight. I'm going to go and have a shower. Boy. And then this ran for a couple of hours, and I hope you can see that it's looking beautiful again, all topped up. Like that very much. So this doesn't drain quickly. It does have a liner from goodness knows how many years ago, but it's such a beautiful natural pond. It doesn't have any algae in it. So there's so much oxygenating plant in there. It's yeah, it works really well. And a little bridge over to the other side. Whoa, I nearly got She Who Should Not Be Filmed in the camera. Careful.